Hi, I'm Emma, and you're watching My Birthway. I am a doula, and my business is Our Birthway Doula Services. So I decided to do a video series called My Birthway that is about the entire expanse of my pregnancy. So from preconception, conception, and then the whole thing. So we're going to go through the birth, through postpartum, through all of that. And right now we're at 21 weeks, which if you watched last week's video, you would have heard me say that I'm going to count this as the halfway point because I feel that pregnancies can easily go to 42 weeks. And if you look at research, it supports that that's also true, and that's okay. Going over your due date of 40 weeks is perfectly fine, especially for a first-time mom. That's more common. So, I'm going to say that this is the halfway point so that I don't start jumping the gun on thinking, okay, the baby's coming at 40 weeks exactly, because people get excited and you might want to think like that when the time comes, and I might too. So I wanted to give you an update about what it's like being 21 weeks pregnant, like my experiences this week. So now, one thing that is common, apparently, in pregnancy is heartburn for women. And a lot of women I've spoken to and a lot of accounts I've read mention it. And I, up until this week, hadn't had any heartburn at all. Like, I literally didn't even know what heartburn was. I was asking my midwife weeks ago, like what does it even feel like? Because I don't think I've ever had it. And she said, no, it actually feels like burning. And I was like, okay. So I've never had that. Now, I think I've had it a little bit this week. And I don't think I can really connect it to anything I ate necessarily. I mean, I'm sure I can, but I'm not noticing the correlation. And I think it's heartburn, but it's like just mostly in my throat. Like my throat is burning a little bit and I feel kind of burpy and strange. So I think that's heartburn, but it goes away after I have water or something else, and it's not very bad. So I think I've had a couple days of that, like not in a row, just random times, which is interesting because it's my first experience with heartburn in general and then also during pregnancy. So hopefully that doesn't continue because that'd be fun to leave that behind. But at least I know that drinking water and that kind of stuff has helped, and it's been a pretty quick fix. So that's something that's happened this week, and I am excited about eating even more. Like for a while, I wasn't really into eggs when I was in my nauseous period many, weeks ago. I didn't really want eggs, which is upsetting because we raise ducks for eggs. I've mentioned this in other videos, but Jason and I are homesteaders, farmers. We raise turkeys, pigs, cows, chickens, ducks, geese, lots of animals. And so we eat a ton of eggs, and duck eggs are even more nutritious than chicken eggs. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to eat tons of duck eggs, but I wasn't wanting any. And right now I am so into the eggs, like the really runny yolks, and I'm also so into butter. So I don't usually eat that much bread, but I've been having this like thin piece of bread with like so much butter on it. Most people probably would think it was disgusting. It's like, okay, so like if the bread is like this thick, the butter is like this thick, and you like see my teeth marks as I take a bite. It is so yummy. So I've just been eating tons and tons of that. And part of me is thinking that because there's lots of fat in duck eggs and of course in butter, that's why they're so great, because fat is good, especially that kind of fat. But there's also protein in the eggs too. And so I'm thinking that my cravings for protein have been more related to protein where fat is also involved. So I've been craving eggs. When I'm craving meat, which isn't really that much, I've been craving like our fried chicken, that kind of thing, like fried in butter, like fatty skin and then the meat, and like hamburgers, which are usually fatty too. So that's nice. I've been getting a lot of good energy from the fat and a lot of good stores, and getting the protein at the same time. But eggs and butter have been like magic for me. Like one day I had 3 or 4 duck eggs for breakfast, and that is like a lot of calories. If you look it up, it's an amazing amount. And then a piece of hugely buttered toast, and then I had the same thing for lunch or dinner, I can't remember. And that day I was like, am I having enough calories? Because like I want to know, am I eating enough? Like I'm not like starving, I'm not like raiding the food closet all the time, I'm not craving crazy things, I'm not like going crazy about it. So I'm like, am I eating enough? And I counted up all the calories with an app. I think it was MyFitnessPal app that we use sometimes just to see. And I had like 3,000 calories that day. So I was like, okay, I think I'm okay. I think I'm doing fine with the calories. Because some days I eat less than that. Some days I eat that amount. And, you know, I mean, I don't feel like I'm getting humongous. Some people just get huge when they're pregnant. One thing is my mom never did. My mom got big, but she never got like those women that are like, whoa, you're going to pop when you're very pregnant. She never looks like that. So I'm wondering if that will be me. And I was like 8 pounds, 7 ounces. So, you know, I was big. You know, it's not like I was deprived of anything or, you know. And so that's something is like, oh, I'm not getting huge, but there's also a lot more time to go and I might be like my mother, you know, so that's interesting. I mean, everybody's different. But next time we go to our appointment, I am going to ask the midwife and say, am I too small? Because I don't feel like I'm getting fat enough. What's going on? But I mean, I am gradually. And Jason says that every time he sees me, he thinks I look bigger in different shapes. So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear that I'm getting bigger and differently shaped. So that's happened. And then I talked about how my pelvic girdle pain was worse last week. It's getting better this week. And that is because I did start stretching and exercising, like I said. So I started walking around the house, like the outside yard area, which, you know, walking for 30 minutes, like as fast as I can kind of thing, like in a big loop. And there's some uphill and some downhill, which is nice. And I can feel that working out my hip, especially the one that gets kinked up and tight and makes my leg kind of numb sometimes, I think I've mentioned, and, you know, just like worse pain on that side. And then I've also been doing some stretching and taking time to do that. So that is definitely something I need to spend more time doing, is just taking a little bit of time for myself for that, walking and stretching and that kind of thing. And I think I'll continue to improve it. But that's where we are this week. I'm feeling really great. I'm feeling really excited. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Everything is good. Everything's going great. I feel like we're on top of it. We're ready to go. At least if we stay on our current trajectory of getting things done and that kind of thing. So I'm feeling good about that. And I want to say thanks for watching. And I will see you next week. I realize I haven't given you a stomach shape update. I haven't shown you my stomach in a couple weeks. So maybe next week I'll do that when I'm wearing clothes that are more form-fitting. So you can see how big I'm getting. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.